What's up, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to the weekly recap where I choose my top 3 or 4 news stories from the past week in the gaming industry, and I kind of combine them and compilate them all here on one video so that you guys can stay up to date on what's going on in the industry, along with my thoughts here and there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break down this week in tech and gaming. So first off, Bethesda announced that they would be having their first ever E3 press conference taking place on June the 14th, which is generally the day before all of the major press conferences start at E3, but now it's just one of the other big days. So obviously the first thing people were thinking of is a new Elder Scrolls or maybe Fallout 4, but there are rumors of a Dishonored 2 coming, something along those lines. Obviously, there are a lot of rumors, and we can only speculate at this point as to what Bethesda will actually be discussing. But I'm kind of personally hoping for a new IP, something new and creative from Bethesda, because they are one of the few remaining companies that I actually trust to make a decent game without any major flaws in it. Obviously, New Vegas had its flaws as far as the Fallout series goes, but they did do a pretty good job implementing some new ideas, and hopefully we'll see that same kind of thing, not New Vegas, implementing new ideas at the Bethesda press conference whenever it comes on June the 14th of this year at E3. Next up, oh how the mighty have fallen. Sega revealed some sales numbers this past week, and it is not looking good for that company if you're a fan of Sega. Sonic Boom came out, which was utterly terrible, and then Sonic Boom Shattered Crystals came out for the 3DS, which I never actually got around to reading about, but I assume it was pretty much just as bad. And then there was also Rise of the Lyric, and all of these combined sold a total of 490,000 copies, which is absolutely atrocious for a company like Sega. So this news comes just a couple of weeks after Sega announced that they will be leaving their longtime home in San Francisco, I believe, and relocating and downsizing and also shifting away from the console gaming side of things. So I think that Sega is definitely on a downward slope, and that the company will end up in one of two situations. A, it's going to go bankrupt, and we'll just see the end of Sega, which will be a very sad end of a generation. Or B, they're going to go straight into mobile games and free to play with microtransactions, which I think is what's going to happen. But either way, I feel for the guys over at Sega, and I hope that they do get all of that straightened out. And I'm sorry that they're having this kind of rough time in their sales numbers. But hey, you know, it's just a reflection of the games themselves. Next up, Mass Effect 4 seems to be drifting even further away from its roots in Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, because this past week, Chris Wynn, one of the directors of the new Mass Effect game, was calling out for a producer to kind of run the things on the multiplayer side of the game, which is, you know, obviously huge because there's now a multiplayer side of Mass Effect, which could be pretty interesting. I'm kind of hoping for a third-person kind of Tom Clancy, The Division style looking game, but, you know, I never really got into the Mass Effect franchise, but it does look like this is going to be a different one that we can kind of just hop into, because it doesn't follow the tale of Commander Shepard from the past Mass Effect games. So it does look like BioWare is going to be breathing kind of a new life into this franchise, because the way I felt about Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3 is that if you didn't play 1, and you didn't keep going with the franchise, you kind of missed out on a lot of important information, especially considering that if you create a character in Mass Effect 1, you could carry that over into the next few games. So if you really wanted to get the most out of the world of Mass Effect, you had to play all of them. But it does look like Mass Effect 4, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to kind of stray away from that and allow new fans to kind of infiltrate the fan base. So that should be pretty interesting, and I hope the best for BioWare's new title, especially considering that they're getting into the multiplayer side of things. I hope that all goes well for them, and who knows, it might become the next huge MLG hit or Twitch stream sensation. Well, I guess only time will tell. So there you guys have it. Those are the major news stories of this past week. If you enjoyed this video, please drop it a like down below and share it with your friends so that we can get my channel out there, get a little bit more publicity flowing. And also, if you are new to the channel or you've never seen any of my other videos, feel free to check some of those out. I upload new stuff 4 days a week, so there's always something new and fresh to check out here on the channel. But as always, I hope you guys have had an amazing week, and I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for watching this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.